All right, we're going to show shutter operation first and then do some other things on the dome. So I've got the shutter open. Normally it'd be closed to start with, but this way you can see what's happening inside. So the first thing I'm going to do over here is turn on the power. So power's on, went straight up and down. There's the shutter switch. Down closes, up opens. So we are fully open. You can see the handle in the back. Close to that lip, a little downturn lip. That's open plenty enough. With the scope in here, it's not like the scope's going to look up and see the shutter. It's open plenty wide, so if you don't want to open it that wide, that's fine. So to close, I'm just going to push down on the shutter button. And so that little spindle in the back on the shutter motor, one side's releasing cable, the other side's pulling it up. I got a spring here, I got a spring back there. Springs take up tension. Sometimes the shutter will hit, especially here in a second when the front shutter starts to pull up the top shutter. Things might slow down a little bit and the springs will take up any slack in the cabling. In just a second, we're going to see in that little slot opening back by the spindle a white section. There you go. So what that has done is it's caught, or the top shutter is caught into this front shutter, and now both shutters are getting pulled towards the closed connection. So let me step back just a little bit. Hopefully we can get the wide enough angle in here. You can see it sliding down. As we come down, I've got a little mark. You can see the mark right there. You can see the mark right here. What we want to do is line those up, and then that way this lock will go in the holes. So, and it'll trail just a little bit. So I'm going to let off my finger now. I'm almost there. That's probably good enough. You can try it. So we're going to turn this. And I'm not quite getting in. I can sometimes feel underneath, but one thing you could do is move down or move up. And when it's straight up and down, we're done. We can lock it. I'm not going to lock it on this. Just make sure, we're going to open next. When you get ready to open, that this is horizontal. And you might want to tug on it just to make sure you can do that. Because if not, you're going to hit this up button and the shutter's not going to move. If that ever happens, stop. Because if you can continue to go, springs will get loose and then the whole wiring system gets messed up, and yeah, it takes a while to put back. So let's open. We're holding it up. This is getting old. We might need to replace this sometime. I don't have another one with me. So as we get open, so the reverse is happening. Every once in a while you'll hear cables. These are pretty tight. Sort of sounds like a guitar, a little bit on both sides, guitar strings. Again, the spindle's pulling up cable on one side, pushing it down on, or letting it out on the other. We just saw that white slot go by. That was the top shutter. And then the front shutter will disengage from that when it hits hits the shutter catchers on the rear. And we're sliding up. So at this point in time, if you're opening, like I said, you don't need it all the way open. Probably even somewhere right there is good. I can see the split. That's the halves. You got 11-inch scope. That's a foot past. The 11-inch scope, half of that's like 6 inches. So you're more than good enough to see the sky. Anyway, that's shutter opening. In a minute, we'll do dome rotation inside.